What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Ball Cap Sports. We are going to do this live, so this is going to be really interesting. Usually this would be something that I produce, I pre-record, I do the whole thing, but you know what? Let's live a little. Let's get a little crazy. We're going to try to do this live. Welcome into the Freddie Freeman Multiverse. What do I mean by that? For anybody who hasn't watched Loki or is not a Marvel fan, here's the deal. Depending on what happens with Freddie Freeman, where he signs, whether it's the Dodgers, the Yankees, the BlueJays, wherever, Pittsburgh, the course of action, the events that will take place from that moment, in my opinion, will vary. It will be different. If he goes to the Dodgers, then obviously the Braves have something to do, which could impact what the Phillies do, which could impact what the Mets do. If he does go to the Blue Jays, that could impact what the Yankees do, which could impact what the Red Sox do, and on and on and on. So we're going to dive into the Freddie Freeman Multiverse. We are going to start with Freddie Freeman back to the Braves. But before we do, let's do this. Let's check in with the timeline, see how it's going. Looking good. The timeline right how it should be. Timekeepers looking at it nice and closely there. Good job by the timekeepers keeping that timeline in place. Freddie Freeman to the Braves is where we will start. So let's get into it. Let's get the map up and let's talk about what happens if Freddie Freeman goes to the Braves. You see, we got the map, we got the cities, we got the logos, we got the players that are going to be impacted by Freddie Freeman re-signing with the Braves. Let's get into it right off the bat. If Freddie Freeman goes to the Atlanta Braves, give me Anthony Rizzo going back to the Yankees. The Yankees, it's important for them to have that lefty bat, the first baseman, the pop that Rizzo can bring. I like Rizzo going back to the Yankees if they are unable to land Freeman. So then what happens with Luke Voit? Let's fire up the trade wagon, and we're going to send Luke Voit out to San Francisco. Luke Voit becomes a Giant, as the Yankees don't necessarily have that much of a need for Luke Voit anymore. So we send Voit to the Giants. Next up, so the Yankees bring in Rizzo without having to break the bank and go get Freddie Freeman. They're able to spend some money on the player that, in my opinion, wants to be there in a bad way, and that's Carlos Correa. So we send Carlos Correa to the Yankees if they don't get Freddie Freeman. Now, the Red Sox, like I said, if the Yankees are doing this, the Red Sox are going to notice. The Red Sox are going to go and bring Kyle Schwarber on board. Schwarber to the Red Sox to strengthen that lineup as they see what the Yankees are doing with Rizzo and with Correa. Now, what happens next after that? Give me Mets fans, this one's for you. Give me Chris Bryant to the Mets. If all this is going on, give me Chris Bryant going to the Mets in this world. Again, Freddie Freeman back to the Braves. The Mets know that they need to continue to improve, especially if that goes down. So give me Bryant to the Mets. Now how does that work? Obviously, I've been saying this. The Mets, if they want to get Chris Bryant or anybody that's going to be significant money, they got to send somebody out of town, and it's Robinson Cano. They find a trade partner in Colorado. Colorado trying to be a competitive team, making moves. Colorado gets Robinson Cano. Mets are going to take some of that money, though. It's not all. They're not taking all $20 million the Rockies are. They're going to take about half of that money, split it. So the Rockies get 10, the Mets get 10. Frees up enough money for the Mets to go and get Chris Bryant. So we make that happen. Also, the Mets not done yet. The Mets then go and trade because they can't really go spend a crazy amount of money on Rodon. Maybe Mets go out and trade for Sean Manaea. So Manaea to the Mets as the Mets load up as they see the Braves. They're going to be back in full strength. So they go and they get Manaea. So now, again, what's going on with the rest of the National League East? The Phillies see all this going on. They're not going to sit tight. The Phillies go out and get Nick Castellanos. So the Phillies go get Castellanos. They make a big splash. They make a big financial commitment to Nick Castellanos to bolster that lineup, and that's not it. It doesn't stop there. Big move here coming next from our friends there in Philly. Because the Yankees have made their move, the Red Sox have made their move, the Braves have made their move. It is the Phillies that trade for Matt Olson. So it is really getting busy there in the Northeast with the Phillies and the Yankees and the Mets and the Red Sox making moves. Give me the Phillies to go and trade for Matt Olson. They signed Castellanos with the Castellanos salary and the Harper salary. They probably don't re-sign Matt Olson at the end of the arbitration just because of the financial situation. So Olson stay in Philly. Could be short, but anyway, Philly gets Matt Olson. So all of this is going on. National League East teams looking to make some moves, make some improvements. The Marlins are not going to be left out. They are trying to stay competitive. The Marlins go and get Jorge Soler to add to their outfield infusion as they bring in a Jorge Soler to add some pop to it. Now the Blue Jays, we know they were in on Chris Bryant. The Blue Jays aren't going to sit tight. In this situation, in this universe, the Blue Jays go and get Seiya Suzuki. Suzuki to the Blue Jays as they miss out on Chris Bryant. Suzuki goes to the Blue Jays. Now, the Dodgers, they have to, of course, get ready to go and be ready for a postseason run. They see they're not going to get Freddie Freeman. So what do the Dodgers do? What is the Dodgers' answer, if you will? Well, it's to bring back the closer. They bring back Kenley Jansen. They're going to bring back Clayton Kershaw on a one-year deal. And they will also bring back Jocktober. Jocktober back to LA. So the Dodgers make a handful of moves with this going down. We get Jock in LA. So the Dodgers make their moves after not getting Freeman. Where about Trevor Story? This whole situation with Trevor Story, we obviously have to find a home for Trevor Story. Give me Seattle for Trevor Story. I've been saying Trevor Story forever. And pretty much if you have watched my predictions on where I think players are going to go, now all the other moves fall into place to what my predictions have been. I think, again, you have Story going to Seattle. You have Rodon going to the Angels. You have Nelson Cruz going to the Milwaukee Brewers. They need to get that righty bat. I'm going to put Michael Conforto on the Padres, probably a one-year prove-it kind of a deal. Give me Eddie Rosario. Weasel, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to Ballcap Nation, Weasel. We're going to put Eddie Rosario on the Giants. So the Giants come out of this with Voit and Rosario, some righty pop and some lefty pop, and Andrew McCutchen goes to the Chicago Cubs. So in this world of Freddie Freeman to the Braves, this is how I can see things playing out in this version of the multiverse, in this version of the universe. Again, sort of a quick recap, pull up the player board. I know I'm in the way for the bottom left. I apologize for that. But in this situation, Freeman to the Braves. Yankees get Rizzo and Correa. San Francisco gets Voit and Rosario. The Red Sox, Schwarber. The Mets, Bryant and Manaea. Cano goes to the Rockies. Castellanos and Olson to the Phillies. Soler to Miami. Suzuki to the Blue Jays. The Dodgers bring back Jansen and Kershaw. Kershaw, one-year deal. They bring back Jock. Trevor Story to Seattle. Rodon to the Angels. Brewers get Cruz, San Diego gets Conforto, San Francisco gets Rosario, and the Cubs get Andrew McCutchen in that version of the Freddie Freeman universe. So there's how I think it could go if we have Freeman going to the... Wait, what? What? The variant has escaped. What are we talking about? We have our first timeline split. We have our first timeline split here. The variant has escaped. He's not going back to the Braves. We have a Nexus event, people. We have a Nexus event taking place right now. Hold on. I'm trying to find out from the timekeepers. Where is he going? Where's Freddie Freeman going? Freddie Freeman is going to the Dodgers. So let's break it down. Let's pull it up. Let's look at the board. We're going to clear the board. We are going to take a look at what is going to happen if Freddie Freeman goes to the LA Dodgers. Let's talk about it. Let's break it all down. So Freeman goes to the Dodgers. We already heard that the Braves have checked in potential Matt Olson. So let's do it. Let's not mess around. The Braves go and get Matt Olson. Bring Matt Olson to the Atlanta Braves. So what are the Yankees going to do? The Yankees are going to go bring Anthony Rizzo back. They brought Rizzo back with Freeman to the Braves. They're going to bring Rizzo back here as well. Next up, we're going to have Voit. Again, Voit's got to be on the move. We're going to keep Voit in San Francisco. I don't know why, I just like the idea of Voit in San Francisco. But that's not the only move, because now the difference is Freeman's on the West Coast. So some of these West Coast teams have to make some moves. So the Giants are going to step up, and they're going to step up big time. Giants fans, I think you'd be pumped if this is how it actually goes down. So we send Voit to the Giants. We're going to send Suzuki to the Giants as they're loading up, and they're not done. They're not done. Chris Bryant is going to join the trio in San Francisco. So Freeman to the Dodgers causes the Giants to get extremely aggressive in their moves, and the Giants go out and get Voit, Bryant, and Suzuki. Big moves there for the Giants. Now, what are the Red Sox going to do? We're going to send Schwarber to the Red Sox again. Red Sox keeping track of what the Yankees are doing. They see Rizzo, so they're going to go make sure that they get Schwarber. How about the Phillies? Because you got a National League situation now where the other teams that are going to want to compete are seeing what's going on in San Francisco. They see the move to L.A. for Freeman. They see the Braves. The Phillies see Olsen, maybe most importantly, coming to the Braves. So what are the Phillies going to do? The Phillies go out. The Phillies bring Jock Peterson on board. We send Jock to Philly. We are also going to send Nick Castellanos. So they get the righty pop, they get the lefty pop. The Phillies do with the situation with the Braves getting Olsen, with the Dodgers getting Freeman, with these players in the National League teams and West Coast teams are stocking up. Now, what are we going to do about Carlos Correa? In this world, with the National League teams getting more aggressive because Freeman is going out west and loading up with the Dodgers, the Cubs go and get Carlos Correa in this version of the Freddie Freeman Multiverse. Correa to the Cubs. Now, the Mets are not going to sit tight. The Mets are going to go make a big trade with Oakland. Sean Manaea and Matt Chapman coming over to the Mets as the Mets get their impact bat. They get the third baseman. They get the starting pitcher. The Mets make a big trade and get Manaea and Chapman on board. Now, we got to get back to the West Coast, okay? What are the Rockies going to do? We know the Rockies are not just going to sit pat, do nothing. So the Rockies are trying to do something. They don't want to just give up. So the Rockies go out. They, in this scenario, snag Rodon away from the Angels, and they bolster the lineup with Jorge Soler. So Soler went to Miami in the version with Freeman going to Atlanta. Here we have Soler going to Colorado. The Dodgers aren't done with just Freeman. They can't go out and go crazy with money after Freeman, so they go get the one-year deal. Kershaw back to the Dodgers. Now, again, the West Coast teams are taking note. All right, the San Diego Padres are not just going to sit pat and do nothing. The San Diego Padres in this universe steal Kenley Jansen from the Dodgers. The Dodgers just spend all their money on Freddie Freeman. They cannot bring Kenley Jansen. Blake Treinen's going to be the closer for the Dodgers. Kenley Jansen goes to the San Diego Padres. So that's the new closer in San Diego. Eddie Rosario goes to San Diego. Andrew McCutchen goes to San Diego as the Padres do their best to load up as they see the Dodgers become even better with Freddie Freeman on board. Can't sit pat because, yeah, the Dodgers lost Seager, they lost Scherzer, but they're loading back up with Freeman and Kershaw. So the Padres make some moves to improve their team. Now, to make this all happen for the Padres just can't do that. They have to make some other moves. So in conjunction, Eric Hosmer will be traded. Hosmer goes to the Rangers, and Ha-Seong Kim, they have to dump that salary. Ha-Seong Kim goes to the Toronto Blue Jays. The Jays were in on Kim when he was getting into MLB last year, and the reason why the Jays didn't get him is because they weren't going to give him that no minors deal. So now in this scenario, the Padres make the trade. They send Kim to the Blue Jays, And that's not all the Blue Jays are going to do, because the Blue Jays, they were in on Bryant. Well, Bryant's in San Francisco. They were talked about for Freeman. Freeman is in LA. They see some of these power teams making power moves. The Blue Jays make a power move themselves and get Trevor Story. So the Blue Jays land Story and Ha-Seong Kim. Blue Jays were serious contenders for Seager before Seager went to the Rangers. So they go and take that money that they were thinking about for Seager, and they're going to invest it in Trevor Story. So Story goes to the Blue Jays, Kim goes to the Blue Jays, and we have the bat Nelson Cruz going to the Milwaukee Brewers. The Brewers need the pop, they need the bat, so we send Nelson Cruz to the Brewers. So we recap. Let's pull up the player board. We recap. We've got Freeman in LA, Olsen to the Braves, Rizzo to the Yankees, Voit, Bryant, and Suzuki to San Francisco as they answer the Dodgers' move of Freeman. Schwarber to Boston, Castellanos and Jock to Philly as the Phillies respond to Olsen going to Atlanta. That causes the Mets to make the move for Minaya and Chapman. The Cubs are the team that make the splash with Correa. The Rockies trying to stay competitive in this all of a sudden now jacked up NL West. They get Rodon and Soler. Kershaw back to the Dodgers on a one-year deal. The Padres seeing everything going on. McCutchen, Jansen, Rosario to the Padres. Hosmer to the Rangers to make those deals work. Kim to the Blue Jays to make those deals work, followed by Trevor Story as the Jays make a mega move. Cruz and Conforto. I didn't put Conforto on the map. Conforto, the Padres make their moves. Let's get Conforto over to Milwaukee as Milwaukee goes and gets Michael Conforto and Nelson Cruz in this version of Freddie Freeman to the LA Dodgers. Oh my God, that's exhausting. Freeman to the Dodgers is exhausting. The National League West goes nuts with player movement. We got 3 for the Padres, 3 for the Giants, 2 for the Rockies. It goes absolutely insane with Freeman to the Dodgers. That was insane. Guys, I need a breath. We got to reset the timeline. All right. Timeline reset, folks. Everything is back to normal. Back in a world where Freddie Freeman is a wait. Oh no. No, not again. The variant, the Freddie Freeman variant, he's on the loose again. Hold on, where's he going? The Freddie Freeman variant. We have another Nexus event. The Freddie Freeman variant is on his way to the New York Yankees. Freddie Freeman going to the Yankees, ladies and gentlemen. So let's pull up the board. Let's pull up the map. Let's talk about what happens next. Who goes where after Freeman goes to the New York Yankees. Oh, boy. Let's keep it going. All right, so if Freeman goes to the Yankees, Luke Voit, obviously, right, big time on his way out of there. But this time, not to the Giants, because there is not all this West Coast stuff going on. This time, Luke Voit is going to go to the Phillies. So we send Voit to the Phillies in this scenario. And with the Yankees making the big splash, the Yankees bringing in Freddie Freeman, the Red Sox get on that aggression train. And it's the Red Sox that are going to go and trade for Matt Olson. In this scenario where Freddie Freeman goes to the Yankees, Yankee fans, be careful what you wish for, because Matt Olson is coming to Boston. Olson to the Red Sox, and he's not the only one. Jock Peterson also on his way to the Red Sox in this Freeman to the New York Yankees scenario. So now what does Atlanta do? Atlanta's out Freeman. Atlanta is out Olson. What is Atlanta going to do? Atlanta goes, and they're going to bring in Anthony Rizzo. So we send Rizzo to the Braves as they keep that lefty pop. Rizzo to the Braves. The Braves also bring back Jorge Soler in this scenario. They bring back the World Series MVP Soler. Now we see do you see what's happening in the American League East right now? It's getting nuts in the American League East with the Yankees getting Freeman and the Red Sox getting Jock Peterson and Matt Olson. The Blue Jays are not sitting this thing out. The Blue Jays go and get Chris Bryant. It is Chris Bryant to the Blue Jays. The Tampa Rays next, as again, the American League East team. The dominoes are falling for the American League East teams. Next up, it is Nelson Cruz going back to Tampa as Tampa sees their chances in the American League East are under assault. So it is over to Tampa, Nelson Cruz. We had Cruz going to the Brewers the last couple of times. This time the Rays bring him back as they need the pop. How about Kyle Schwarber? We had Schwarber going to the Red Sox, but now the Red Sox made a bigger move, so it is going to be Schwarber going to the Phillies. We heard about the Phillies in on Schwarber, talking to Schwarber, maybe trying to make a push. In this world, Schwarber to the Phillies. So the Phillies get Voit and Schwarber. Nice little upgrade there. Story goes to the Mariners. The Blue Jays make a big splash with Bryant. They can't get both of them, and I think Story is the next best fit there. Story to the Mariners. How about Carlos Correa? Look, if the Yankees get Freddie Freeman, right, it ain't going to happen. So in this world, we have Correa going to the Cubs. We had Correa to the Cubs with the Dodgers, Freddie Freeman. So now we have Correa to the Cubs here as well. The Yankees can't make the splash for both of them. So there goes Correa to the Cubs. Andrew McCutchen goes to the Brewers as they still need to improve the lineup, and they will do that. They couldn't do it with Cruz, so they do it with McCutchen. Now, the National League East certainly in play here. You see what the Phillies are doing, okay? You see what the Braves have done. So what is next up for the National League East? The Marlins make a splash, and the Marlins bring in Nick Castellanos. So now the Mets are looking at this thing. They see what the Phillies have done. They see what the Braves have done. They see what the Mets have done. The Marlins have done. The Mets decide to go and bolster the pitching, and they go get Luis Castillo to put together arguably the best top three in all of baseball. Luis Castillo goes to the Mets. Now, some of the takers and suitors for Seiya Suzuki are now off the board. The Braves are off the board. The Blue Jays off the board with their moves. Seattle's off the board with Story. Suzuki to one of the other teams he was linked to at one point, the Rangers. We send Suzuki to the Rangers, and he's not it. The Rangers also get Clayton Kershaw. So the Rangers get Clayton Kershaw. Looks super tiny next to Suzuki, so let's make him bigger. Suzuki and Kershaw to the Rangers. The Rangers make a multi-year offer and snag Kershaw away from the Dodgers. So Kershaw to the Rangers. Dodgers still need to do something, though. It's not as aggressive with so much action happening more, on the east side of the map. But the Dodgers still make some nice moves. They are going to bring back Kenley Jansen. They are going to bring in Michael Conforto. So the Dodgers go get a bat with Conforto, and they go get their closer back with Kenley Jansen. Rodon goes to the Angels in this scenario like we had before. Rosario goes to the San Francisco Giants. So, it gets busy in the American League East in this scenario. Let's bring up the player board and recap it. Take a look at it. Again, here we go. The Yankees get Freeman. The Phillies get Voit. Olsen and Peterson to Boston. Rizzo and Soler to the Braves. The Blue Jays answer with Bryant. The Rays answer with Cruz. Philly also gets Schwarber. Seattle gets Story. Carlos Correa goes to the Cubs. The Brewers get McCutchen. Miami Castellanos. The Mets go trade for Castillo. The Rangers get Suzuki and Kershaw. The Dodgers, Jensen and Conforto. The Angels, Rodon. And the Giants, Eddie Rosario. Wow. Okay. Again, unbelievable. If he goes to the Yankees, you can see how different it could be. Whereas if he just re-signs and goes back home. Guys, we got to take a breath. We got to reset the timeline. Whew. Okay, timeline reset. Everything is good. Freddie Freeman back to the Braves. All of this craziness is done. We can wait, what? No. Stop it. The variant is on the move again. Freddie Freeman is on the move again. We have another Nexus event. Freddie Freeman on the move. Where's Freddie Freeman going to next, you wonder? Well, I'm a little bit excited because Freddie Freeman is going to the Blue Jays. So let's talk about it. In a world where Freddie Freeman goes to the Blue Jays, and I want to just put this out there for the record, I think there's a 5% chance that this actually happens. Might actually be 4%. Since I last thought about it. I don't think there's a great chance it happens, but it's been talked about. So let's look at the different scenarios that could play out with Freddie Freeman going to the Blue Jays. What happens? So if Freeman goes to the Blue Jays, you know the Yankees are going to take notice. And in this world, it is the Yankees that pony up the prospects, and it is the Yankees that go and get Matt Olson. Matt Olson traded to the Yankees in this world. It is Luke Voit in that trade going to Oakland. So the A's get Luke Voit. The Yankees don't stop there. The Yankees do not stop there. They see the Blue Jays getting Freddie Freeman. They have serious concerns. So the Yankees, they get Matt Olson in a trade, and then they go spend the money on Trevor Story. The Yankees just completely jack up their roster with Story and Olson, and they're not done. The Yankees go and get on a one-year deal to go get a World Series. It's Clayton Kershaw. Clayton Kershaw going to the New York Yankees, joining Olson and Story. What a haul for the Yankees. As a Blue Jay fan, I'm a little scared of this scenario. This is what's going to go down. So that's the Yankees haul. What did the Braves do? The Braves just lost Freddie Freeman. They didn't get Matt Olson. They go and they get Anthony Rizzo. So similar to the Yankee situation, if Freeman goes to the Yankees, Rizzo goes to the Braves. That's their answer. That's the lefty pop. Keeps the lineup intact as it has been. Now, we have Rizzo to the Braves. That's not it. The Braves see that they have a need to improve that offense, so it's the Braves that get Rizzo and Seiya Suzuki. Suzuki to the Braves along with Anthony Rizzo as the Braves restock, retool to go for the NL East. Now, we see all that action with the Yankees. The Blue Jays make the move. What are the Red Sox going to do? They can't sit there and sit this thing out, so they make the move for Schwarber. That's the logical play. And to make sure that they can close out games at the end, they can't go in with Barnes. They get Kenley Jansen. Kenley Jansen to the Red Sox. Now, the Rays again, look at what's going on with the Red Sox. Yankees and Blue Jays cannot sit and do nothing, so they go and get Nelson Cruz. Cruz resigns, comes back to the Rays, makes sense. Now, with all this going on, with the Yankees making moves and the Red Sox making moves and all these teams making moves, Carlos Correa, looking at his prospects, feels that the best thing for him to do, because the Cubs don't feel like they need to make as much of a splash because all this action is happening in the American League. So the Cubs don't feel like they have as much of a need. So Carlos Correa goes back to the Houston Astros, signs that 5-year deal, will re-enter free agency when he's 32 and look for a deal to take him to 50 at $500 million. So Correa goes to the Astros. The Mariners, they got to make a move because they see what's going on. The Jays are not going to be able to do Chris Bryant. They see Correa going to the Astros. The Mariners need to keep in it. They go and they get Bryant. With Story going to the Yankees, the Mariners go to the next best player that they've been linked to, and that's the Seattle Mariners. So we go with Bryant to the Mariners. Now, the Rangers see what's going on. They're like, oh, here we go. Great. Oakland gets Voit. The Seattle gets KB. Correa to Houston. So in this situation, the Rangers, who are trying to compete, they just spent all that money. They can't go nowhere. They are the team that goes and gets Carlos Rodon. Next up, the Dodgers, right? You probably wonder, what are the Dodgers going to do? They're just not going to sit pat and do nothing through this scenario. They will not. They are the team that goes out and trades for Sean Manaea to improve the rotation. They don't get Kershaw back. They lost Max Scherzer. Josh Motion Animation, thank you for subscribing. Welcome, Josh. Anybody that is just finding the channel for the first time, make sure to subscribe. Stay close to the channel. Baseball's our thing here. If it's something you're into, I think this is a good place for you. So make sure to subscribe and smash that like. Smash that like if you're excited for baseball to come back and for all of this in some form to play out. Make sure to smash that like. So we have the situation where we send Manaea to the Dodgers. Next up, the Dodgers, not done. The Dodgers go get the World Series MVP, Jorge Soler. So the Dodgers improve the offense with Soler. They improve the rotation with Manaea. The Giants have to make a move. They cannot sit and do nothing. The Giants go and get Jock Peterson. Jock Peterson coming to the Giants. We still have the National League East. They need to make some moves. They see what's going on with LA making moves. They see what's going on with Atlanta making moves. So the Phillies have to get active. The Phillies go and they make the move for Nick Castellanos. I don't know if you can tell, but I really like Castellanos to the Phillies. So they get Castellanos. The Mets, what are the Mets doing? They've done nothing at this point. Maybe they've hired a manager. Maybe they haven't. But whether they have or not doesn't really matter because they're going to make a trade. They go get 2 Reds. They go get Sonny Gray and Mike Moustakas. Gray and Moustakas to the Mets as the Mets start to load up to try to compete for the National League East. Conforto to the Padres as the Padres aren't going to sit this thing out. They go make a move. The Rockies need to make a move. They're going to go and get Rosario, of course. And then, if anybody had any question about this, you could say this whole exercise was to have this one thing happen. Andrew McCutchen signs with the Pirates. Sorry. And we have the Andrew McCutchen reunion tour. So let's recap the craziness of Freddie Freeman to the Toronto Blue Jays. Olsen, Story, and Kershaw in a mind-bending situation go to the Yankees. Voit goes to Oakland in the Olsen trade. Rizzo and Suzuki to Atlanta. Schwarber and Jansen to Boston. Cruz to Tampa. Correa to Houston. KB to Seattle. Will, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to Ballcap Nation, Will. Carlos Rodon to Texas. The Dodgers trade for Minaya and sign Soler. Jock to San Francisco. Castellanos to Philly. Sonny Gray and Mike Moustakas to the Mets in a trade. Conforto to the Padres. Rosario to the Rockies. McCutchen to the Pirates. Wow. Listen, the point of this is, if Freeman goes to the Jays, anywhere, the Jays, the Yankees, the Dodgers, re-signs with the Braves, there are a lot of different things that can happen. And at the end of the day, with all of this going on, it is just out of control, multiple breaches, left and right. The sacred timeline is completely destroyed. We got Freeman in LA, Freeman in Toronto, variants everywhere. Down goes the system, MLB crashes, and the universe just blips. Okay, if you have enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe. Stay close to the channel. I'm just trying to have a little fun, right? There's not a lot of fun coming out of baseball right now. Trying to have a little fun with this, so I hope you had a good time enjoying this, watching this. If you are with me live, hang tight for a few minutes. We'll spend an extra couple minutes. If you are watching the replay of this, again, make sure to subscribe, hit that like, do all those wonderful things. Grow Ballcap Nation just by hitting the like. Ballcap Nation, I appreciate you. Thank you for spending some time with the channel. I'll add some links to some of my other off-season content for you to view now. And thank you for watching my video.